serious topic.
Oh, the chuckles are over.
Cancelled artists.
Okay.
Cancelled artists. Right, where do we start on this? I feel like we've got to tread water on this. Like, we've got to walk off thin ice.
Cancelled artists. Are we talking about artists that have already been cancelled or that should be cancelled?
Both to an extent. So I
Okay.
think
So, for
some
example,
prime
like
examples, yeah.
Marilyn Manson, Lost Prophets.
Prime examples. Now, Lost Prophets, like, if you put them, like, if you hear one of their songs, all you can think of is the crimes of Ian Watkins.
Yeah.
So I think to that extent, it's like, for me, I won't ever listen to them. I just can't because I can't get that out of my mind. However, I've never really been a big fan of Marilyn Manson. Never been a big fan, but there is a select number of songs I enjoy.
Hmm.
They're still on, my Spotify. They're still on my playlist. My like songs. Them songs come on, and I listen to them, and I still enjoy them. It still is in the back of your mind that it's like this is problem, and this is someone who's done bad things. I mean, allegedly, because still as of yet, nothing legally has actually kind of come through
Not
on
about
these
Marilyn
things.
Manson anyway.
But it's kind of like I'm still kind of supporting these people in a way. Another one is Kanye West. Again, I think his crimes when it comes to like kind of words
I
and
was going to say I'm
speech
not. I
and
think
stuff like that.
his crimes have I say crimes loosely. I think he's more gone down the hate speech.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it does become this like elephant in the room, but
I read a
um,
thing that said online. It said Kanye West is exactly what happens when normal people get that famous, and I'd kind of be inclined to agree to some extent. I'm not justifying Kanye. I think musically Kanye's been fantastic,
yeah,
and he's clearly, very very clearly, undiagnosed ADHD as well. He's got a lot of issues that arguably he needs more help for than to be vilified, in my opinion. But again, doesn't justify the negative things that have
no,
surrounded him.
certainly doesn't. But he released an album not long ago, and there's some great tracks on that,
Yeah.
and I do listen to them, and I do enjoy them, and it's one of them. It's like I think there's no real like kind of answer for this, but separating the art from the artist. Some people say that's absolutely you can't do that,
Yeah.
and the artist is stitched and woven in to the art. Some people disagree.
It's tough that. And like when you talk about guilty pleasure, this has kind of knocked me, this one, because you're talking about guilty pleasures, and like I was kind of quite on the nose, wasn't I? Of like, oh yeah, Nickelback and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And now you talk about this, and I said, I don't think you should feel guilty about listening to certain artists. But in this light, I think you've stumped me
yeah.
because,
'Cause it is a
for
guilty. Yeah,
example, Lost Prophets, like you said, like the vocalist from Lost Prophets, guilty
yeah,
in prison. So they kind of should be an element of guilt to listen to them. Now, in hindsight, I have gone back and listened to Lost Prophets since I went through a binge of some of their music about 3 years ago. Really enjoyed it.
yeah,
But every single time I listened to it, I could not separate
yeah,
the artist from the crimes. And I feel really bad for the rest of the band
yeah.
who, on their own admissions, knew nothing about it. And I totally feel nothing but sympathy for them. It is a very especially when the crimes are so horrific, very difficult to separate
Yeah.
the artist from the art.
There's an elephant in the room. I think it's one of them. Like, I don't think you can just stop enjoying something overnight or on the spot.
No.
I think there is an element of you are kind of covering that up and you are like forcing yourself to distance or separate yourself. The thing is with like Lost Prophets is they were massive. They were
They were
big.
fairly big.
People had tattoos.
People
They
worship
were
them. People
in
genuinely
yeah,
worship them.
they were in like every issue of like Kerrang that
Yeah.
came out and stuff like that. They were big, and
They broke America. They broke
yeah,
America as
the
well.
news just came out of nowhere, didn't it? Just the news just hit,
Yeah.
and
I think
everyone
they
was just
mid
in
tour or something, weren't they?
yeah, everyone was just in absolute shock. People, that must. I was never a big fan, but that must have devastated people to some extent.
Yeah.
Once the shock and the horror kind of faded away a bit, there must have been a level of upset and disappointment and something that's so for me and all my artists and all the bands I listen to. I think one prime example of someone who's been quote unquote cancelled is Morrissey. Similar thing to Kanye West.
Hmm.
He said some unfavourable things that are very unpopular. Political parties he's kind of aligned with,
You see, it's
you
it's
know.
it's it's strange because burnt a lot of bridges, doesn't mince his words. He can be very divisive. He is someone that's very easily cancelled.
Again, I really feel like you've got to tiptoe on some of these areas, and I don't really want to like start getting like into politics or personal views or anything like that. I think to wrap this topic up because it is a heavy one, and we want to have a bit of a fun time here, like girls.
Just like girls, they just
They
want to have
just want to
fun.
have fun, don't they? I think that at the end of the day, everyone's human. Everyone's done bad things. Everyone's been shitty. Everyone's said something, that they shouldn't have said. But the whole point of the human experience is that you learn and you grow and you experience, and you do get them people who will never change and they'll always be stuck in their ways and they can just be bad people. And that's a shame. But my kind of approach in life is always like, I think alienation is the wrong approach on stuff like that. Obviously, it's different when you're a fucking millionaire and stuff like that,
It's it's
But
it's a very touchy subject.
yeah, I mean, to wrap it up, I mean, if you dig deep enough into anyone, especially millionaires that have infinite amount of money and resources and power, you're going to find something you don't like about that person. They could be the nicest guy on the planet. They could raise millions for charities and do all kinds. But if you scratch down deep enough, you'll find something dark.
I
So
have I have no doubt you probably bang on the money. Like
let's lighten it up.
like I said, yeah. Let's change topic. I'm gonna jump back